Police officers, technicians from the National Forensic Science Service, and one BDF soldier took part in a shooting incident reconstruction.
Forensic team up!
Now, as you know, again, all of this is made possible thanks to the support of the United States government, who is the one who is generously funding this activity under the Caribbean Firearms Roadmap that Belize has signed on to. You also know about the Central American and Dominican Republic Firearms Roadmap that Belize is also a part of.
The continuous training of these professionals is paramount. Shots were fired through the front of the windshield, from the side to graze it, and other variations which had the class absorbed in learning. Minister of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries Karim Musa also took a shot during the training.
I know that over the last few days you have benefited greatly from the theoretical aspect of this training, and so I want to acknowledge and thank Mr. Francis, Ms. Melissa, Mr. Frank, and the entire team at UN LIREC, as well as the US Embassy and the Firearms Roadmap. As you know, whenever we are assessing a crime scene, and especially in Belize and the Caribbean, it is usually as a result of gun violence. It has been perhaps the largest obstacle issue that we have faced as a nation over the last few years. Occasionally you do have stabbings and that sort of thing, but by far gun violence has plagued us so much over the last few decades, and it is only getting more primarily because of the trafficking through our very porous borders. And so this session right now, this training session, will go a very long way in training our personnel to determine the angle at which a particular weapon was fired. It certainly, like Mr. Jones has said, will help you in determining whether it was a murder, whether it's a suicide. And so there's so many aspects to this training that I'm sure you have benefited from over the last few days and will be able to now apply it in your profession as the days go by.
Certificates were given to individual participants upon completion of the training.
Grasp as much as you can, suck up and squeeze out the instructor so that you'll get at the maximum. But importantly, practice, practice, practice after this, because if we get all this knowledge and we don't put it to use, and maybe some sensitize as well our colleagues who are not here, this certainly will give maximum effect for the training that we're undertaking this week.
Today out on the range, what we're doing is the practical application of what we did for the last 3 days in class, shooting incident reconstruction. So we're taking the skill sets of doing trajectory rods, measuring angles, incident angles. And what I mean by that is, where was the shooter standing, or the approximate area of where they were standing, what kind of damage takes place, how to look at that damage, how to interpret it by using all the evidence that is around you, obvious and not so obvious. Sharing with the investigators how to look for that not so obvious evidence. And so what we do is we are shooting up a vehicle, we are shooting up targets that replicate building materials, windows, doors, exterior panels, and then even interior building materials, so that when the investigators come in and they look at it, they're able to take the skills that they've been taught in the classroom and apply it in the field. So today, for example, we're shooting through windshields. And when you shoot into a vehicle, because of the angle of the windshield, the bullet that passes through carries out some unique characteristics. And we want the investigators to be able to follow the path.
This week has been a very interesting week. Other than learning the theory and doing the practical part of it, we have increased our knowledge and skills. Example here, we have 3 trajectory rods along with the centering cone, and we have 2 techniques here. We have the laser, which is very good for long distances, but for visibility purpose, sometimes might pose a challenge, unlike this thread, which is clearly visible, right? But the problem with the thread, if you notice, it will tend to sag. So that's each one has its advantage. The laser does not sag, right? But the thread does. So we have different techniques. We can also calculate, measure the width and the height of this bullet hole, and using our everyday calculators, we can get the angle of incidence or impact. We went out there, we saw different weapons being fired at different surfaces and different angles. So we were able to inspect those angles and be able to become more aware of when we see an impact on any vehicle or wooden house or a zinc roof, we can have a better idea where the shooter was.
This knowledge gained during the professional development program will aid in bringing justice to the families and victims and let them understand what happened while aiding with the investigation.